What's up, guys? Thank you for joining us today. Arthur Solomon here with the Solomon Group, and I've got a very special friend, one of the best loan officers that I know, Ammie Spahr with Loan Depot. Known her since I got in the business since 2014. She's been great, been a role model to me and a mentor, and I've got a lot of education and valuable insight from her about the mortgage lending and about the market and about real estate in general. And just really glad to have you on here today with us.
Wow, I'm super excited.
Thank you for joining us.
I would look forward to it all day.
Great. Well, maybe you can educate some of our folks watching here today that don't know about you. Tell us how long you've been in the business and what your team look like.
Okay. Well, I've been in the business for 34 years. I've been a loan officer since '95, and I worked 24 years at Wells Fargo, and I've been with Loan Depot for almost 3 years now. I can't believe how time, it's just goes by so fast.
Right on. So can you tell us about what your team looks like today?
Yeah, I have 5 people on my team currently, and I just added Zach. He's my customer success manager and does all my technology and my videos and marketing, and he's really going to take my business partners such as you and to a different level, because he's going to do a lot of marketing for you, for both of us as a team, and just get the word out there that it's just easier for the client to work with one individual team than try to look at houses with 4 or 5 different realtors, because you don't get the loyalty and you don't get the trust. And really get with a really good loan officer that gives you options and doesn't just try to fit you into one product that's the easy product, because every buyer has more than one option.
Yeah, that's very true.
Mm-hmm.
You were mentioning FHA versus conventional, one of the myths that we were just discussing. Can you maybe touch base on the myth of...
Well, I have so many people, realtors and buyers, say, well, my realtor really wants me to get approved conventional, because sellers out there right now, as you know, it's a seller's market. They want the conventional buyers, because the myth is the house would be able to be sold as is. Well, that's true to some aspect, but again, there's safety issues. There's things about a house that conventional won't pass either. But in my mind, if I was a seller, I would look at all offers, regardless if they're FHA or conventional, and try to pinpoint the one that is going to give me the best value. I would want to give a property over to a new family that's in good shape, so I don't get that phone call that says, what's wrong with the plumbing? I just would want to go with the best buyer, not just because they're going FHA or conventional, because FHA buyers can actually be a better buyer and close on time more so than a conventional buyer.
What's your record on FHA?
What record?
How many days?
We close all of our loans in 30 days.
Okay. Wow. Very good.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, I still talk to a lot of people, and they were like, oh, Ammie Spahr, she was Wells Fargo. Obviously, you've been with Loan Depot now for
almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years.
Yeah.
So how has that journey been, switching to a new company and obviously offering more products to your customers?
Well, at first, I'm a very loyal person. So that's, one of the reasons why I stayed with Wells Fargo, and I had great success there. But they were pulling away from the Midwest and not offering FHA, USDA loans in a platform where I could be competitive. And my market demands those kind of products. So I searched high and low for the best, fit for me. I had several offers from all over the place, banks, other mortgage companies. But I found Loan Depot to be really innovative when it comes to the digital side of the mortgage process. Especially with COVID-19, it's really helped us really bump up our volume, because we can do everything literally online. And that's really makes it really good for the new buyers, because most of them are millennials, and I know you don't want to be called a millennial, but they're real techie and they like to just do their apps and go online and download their docs and things like that. So, but we have face-to-face, as long as you're wearing a mask, and we social distance right now. So I do have those customers that want that personal touch. I personally like that, because I like to get to know my clients, and at the end, feel like they're part of my family.
Yeah. You're very personal. You have parties at your place.
I know.
It's just a fun time in there.
Well, getting a mortgage is really stressful. I don't care if you've done it once or you've done it twice or 3 times a lady, I don't know, but the bottom line is stressful. When I do my own mortgage, I get a little stressed out, and I know just about all what there is to know about a mortgage, and I still get stressed. So I try to put my feet in my customers' shoes and just say, look, sometimes you get really busy and you have to slow down and say, well, this person learns this way, this person comprehends this way. So you just have to kind of like read the client and know what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you have, how many deals did you do last year? 200 plus?
I think it was 273.
273, that's amazing. So that's almost a deal every single day if you
Yes.
take out the holidays.
Well, that's not my record. My
What's your
record's
record?
322 in 1 year. I know. I mean, for this market, right? I mean,
Do you just live in your office all the time?
24/7. I work when you work.
I'll call you sometimes, it's like 10 o'clock and you'll pick up, hey, yeah, working on this pre-approval for you.
Well,
So.
right now with the seller's market, you know, things are flying off the shelf and you need a lender that you can trust that'll be there so you don't lose the property that you want.
That makes a big difference, you
Yeah.
know, versus just somebody at the bank and you have to call the
Right.
bank and they're not there, they're only there 9 to 5. So
Yeah.
Amy, she's available all the time, which makes it really nice.
Yeah.
And you've got a team too with Shauna
Yeah,
and Zach.
Shauna and Zach and Paula and Teresa. Something about, you know, there's also the thing, well, I need to go through my bank to get my mortgage.
Yeah, well,
You
yeah,
know, that's not true. A mortgage company is really your best bet because that's all they do is mortgages. They don't do checking, savings. They're not going to try to sell you a bunch of different hats, you know. A mortgage company that's what they do. So that's what they do best. So yeah, it's great to maybe go through your local bank, get an idea, but get a second opinion from a mortgage company.
100%. Well, let's jump to another topic
Okay.
here. So 2020 was kind of a crazy year. Coronavirus, we had a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah.
A lot of people lost their loans there in March, and I think I lost like 6 deals in 1 month that fell through. So then we ended up crushing the rest of the year. 2021, what is your prediction for how this year is going to end up with the interest rate, inventory, and everything?
I think it's going to be steady from the forecast that we've, you know, from our upper management and things like that. I think that rates will stay steady. I don't think they're going to go down any lower unless something happens like a 9/11, which let's pray that doesn't happen. But if things were to just progress as they are now with our administration and things like that, I think rates will probably go up slightly, but not like crazy up. So, you know, if you're going to refinance, you should do it right now because I don't think they're going to go any lower.
Yeah, what are the rates right now?
Well, it just depends. That's an open-end question. It depends on your loan to value, meaning what you put down, your type of product, your credit score, and things like that. But you can typically get anything right now between 2.25% and 3.25%.
That's a great rate.
I know. I mean, it, like,
That's
pitch
why
me. I won the lottery. If you don't know, that's such a low rate. When I first bought my first home, 10.5% with 2 points.
That's crazy. Well, Stas, my brother, he just
Yeah.
ended up refining today. Right before this video, he said
Yep.
he just got done at City Title refining his house. So thank you for doing a great job.
Oh,
for
well,
him.
thanks for the referral. He was wonderful. Slam dunk. He was a veteran. And, you know, right? I think he was a veteran. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And we always like doing the loans for the veterans, you know, because they're very important to all of us. And we do a great job. I'm a military specialist, so I know the ins and outs of military lending. And right now, if you have a rate of 3.75% or higher and you're a veteran, you need to refinance. There's no appraisal, there's hardly any cost, there's a driver's license, no paperwork. It's pretty much a slam dunk deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Right.
Well, we're in tax season right now.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us, like someone's on the verge of buying, they're considering buying, they're getting a refund check. What should they be doing right now? What should they be thinking about?
Well, they should, if they're thinking about buying a house, they most definitely should call a lender, me, and let's discuss how you can put that money to best use in purchasing your first home or your second home. If you're not going to do that, I would suggest putting it in a savings account because your money needs to be seasoned to purchase a home. So I would save as much money as you can, or pay off high interest credit cards is always a plus.
100%. There's some programs available through like OFA and stuff. Can you just touch base about what that means for somebody that's a first-time buyer?
Yeah, especially like if they're heroes, like, you know, somebody in the nursing field or the firefighters and things like that, they get special rates. You have up to a 5% down payment assistance program. Depending on what kind of, you know, utilization that you need, they can go from 1.5% to 5%.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so it's a state of Ohio. It takes a little longer to close, you know, about 40 days because there's another layer of underwriting. But it's a pretty neat program. Our Borrower Smart program is really awesome too. It's a conventional loan. Depending on your income, you can get up to a $1,500 grant at closing, and you only have to do an over-the-phone first-time homebuyer class.
That's great. I think
Yeah, for $99.
You can't beat that.
Yeah,
I think Mike Alexander, he's getting one of
Yep,
he's
he
taking
did.
a class.
Yep.
So you can get into a house for like next to nothing. You can have the seller pay for your closing costs and you can get the down payment assistance. You're getting into a house for next to nothing. So
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Great program.
Exactly.
But that money is only, once it's gone, right?
No. Borrower Smart program's forever. It's
Really?
not your welcome home funds.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking
Yeah,
about.
welcome home funds, some of the local banks have that as their CRA programs, and it's just a limited time money.
Okay, and that's capped out. Is that 200,000 per bank?
You know, I have no idea because we don't have that program, so I don't know the ins and outs of that. I know when it does come available, it leaves quick. Like it's like winning the lottery to get something like that. I know I've said that twice now.
So what are some of the roadblocks that you see in this market? So obviously we have interest rates are low, it's the seller's market. What's the number one thing? If we could fix this one thing, it would solve a lot of problems.
I think the sellers don't need to wait until the spring to list their house because they think, oh, I'm just going to wait till that's when all the buyers. Well, I have over 100 pre-approvals right now. No inventory.
So if I get a house to sell, I just call you and you already have a buyer for me?
I probably do. Now they're going to, yeah.
That's a deal.
So I actually was able to connect two people together today to find a house. But the bottom line is if you're thinking about selling right now, it's the best time because there's not a whole lot out there on the market and you don't have a whole lot of competition. So yes, you're gonna get top dollar for your house regardless because it's a seller's market, but you're also going to help yourself out because you'll have time, like we talked about at lunch yesterday with the reverse contingency.
Yeah, can you expand on that a little bit because a lot of
Okay.
people don't know what that
All
is.
right, well, let's say I'm a seller and I don't have a house picked out yet and I'm reluctant to list my house because I can't find a house that I like. So Bill and I are trying to downsize now and we've been looking around for probably 6 months and we can't find anything that we particularly like. So let's say I want to sell though. So I list my house, I find a buyer. There's so many buyers out there right now that you'll find a buyer that's willing to wait on you, okay? Because they need a house to live in. They might be renting and they don't have to put their notice in right away. Or they may have a smaller house and they qualify without selling and they can wait on your seller. So don't hesitate to sell because your realtor can do what's called a contingency reverse. So it's contingent on them finding the house of their choice. You could put a time frame on it, and then the buyer always has the option to, if they find something out, something else before they lift the contingency, they can say, hey, we're gonna go ahead and buy this house. So typically, don't you find that when someone lists their house and sell it, they find something else because they're more motivated?
They're motivated for sure, and
Yeah.
that's a great way to be able to
Yeah.
put your foot forward and say, I'm going to make a move,
Right.
but I've got a backup plan just in case I get my house sold right away. I'm not homeless.
Exactly, and that's where your expertise comes into play and to give them that comfort zone. And then also they have to think about that they, may want to go ahead and buy the house and lock in the rate in case rates go up and then possibly rent back to the seller for a few months. You have to own or occupy within 60 days. That's a form that you'll sign at closing. So, there's all things, you can rent back or you can, give them 60 days and then you just have to hustle and find them a house. You have to work. You can't just put it on an alert, oh, this property came available yesterday, let's go look at it. Go physically into the neighborhood they want to buy. Put out a mailer, knock on a door, find a neighbor that knows somebody. There's all kinds of ways to go find a listing for your buyer.
Gotcha. So hopefully that covers enough, guys. If you're interested in selling your house this year, buying a house this year, Ammie, how can they get a hold of you? Even if they're looking to refi, how can
They can call me at 937-631-2622 or just look up Ammie Spahr Loan Depot. But if you go to my website, make sure you see my face because sometimes they'll go to corporate and you'll end up with another loan officer. So make sure you're putting that /A Spahr. So www.loandepot/A Spahr, SPAHR.
And it's so easy. All you have to do is go to that website and you can apply right there. She gets it. It takes, 5-10 minutes to apply?
Yeah, and then it alerts me, then I'll call you and spend a few minutes over the phone and go over all your opportunities. One of the things that I do different than other lenders, and they may do the same, but I do it on every deal, is I make sure that I get all the paperwork on my pre-approvals. I want to see pay stubs, I want to see bank statements, and the reason being is we want to set the client up for success. So we don't have any surprises, because somebody can tell you they make $10 an hour, and then when you get your pay stub, it's $8 an hour. So then you don't qualify. So your realtor's out there showing them a bunch of properties, they get an accepted offer, and guess what? They don't qualify now. That's disappointing, right? So we want to make sure that we set our clients up for success, and we view all documentation. So it's almost like if you get a pre-approval letter through my team, it's like paying cash for the house, because it's subject to an appraisal or title work. People paying cash should have an appraisal or title work, in my opinion. At least title, right? And if you're putting enough money down, we don't require an appraisal at Loan Depot.
Really?
The appraisal can be waived.
Are you seeing more appraisals get cut short this year?
Oh yeah,
Is that a big
because of the
problem?
seller's market, because people are going up and over the list price, or they're doing escalation clauses, but it's went the opposite. Like I had one of my realtors in Dayton, they went $22,000 over list price, and it appraised. I mean, it was just like, what? Okay. But you know, like Debbie Cushman always used to say, she's a realtor that was a real estate agent in this town for years. She goes, it should just go with whatever the customer's willing to pay. She always like screamed that to the top of her head. But in some instances right now, that's true, right? It's what the buyer's willing to pay.
That's true. Well, we had that one on Troy Road where they paid $10,000 over appraisal value to get the deal done.
Yep.
So it does happen.
It does, but it's you got to be careful with that, because you don't want to inflate your market too much, because what happens when the market does come down, then you have all these houses you're trying to sell in 4 years and they're not really worth that.
True.
Then you're going to have a lot of people upside down. You're going to have more foreclosure, you know, so as a community we should really try to rein that in a bit.
Do you anticipate the foreclosures will increase this year due to the coronavirus?
No, I don't see the only way I would see the foreclosures is if our job market our unemployment continues to rise. There's a ton of jobs out there to be had. You know, everywhere I look, there's a help wanted. So I'm hoping that, you know, that will help our economy. People will get back to work and stay back to work. You know, and the rates have been so low, the payments are so low, you can't find anywhere to rent. So people are making their payments. You know, that's their first priority, is to get their house payment made, because they can't rent anywhere else. There's nowhere to rent. You know, we have a crisis on our hands. There's not enough housing for the people in our communities.
Absolutely.
So with rates low and they're buying these houses and they're refinancing, they have these low payments, they're more than likely going to be able to find a way to pay that payment. So I don't see foreclosures going up.
Okay. Do you see a lot more Columbus buyers or buyers from outside of our area moving into our area?
I haven't seen that yet. No. I see more focus on first-time homebuyers in this area. Been a lot of first-time homebuyers get approved. That's so, you know, that's like super exciting for me, because that's the American dream, right?
Right.
To grow up, get married, have kids, own your own home. You know, so, I mean, you don't have to get married and have your own kids and, you know, own a home before that, but you know what I'm saying. It's just part of the American dream. So when I pre-approve a first-time home buyer, it's like, you know, heaven for me, because I'm making someone's dream come true.
Absolutely. Building equity, establishing their financial success. So,
Yeah.
well, again, how can people get a hold of you if they want to get pre-approved, they want to refi?
Just call me at 937-631-2622.
Guys, that's her cell phone. How many lenders are going to give you their cell phone? That's her cell phone. Call her. She's great. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
For the episode of
Thank you
11
so
Solomon
much.
Group, and we thank you for being here.
Love you.
Love you too.
Okay, bye.